Welcome back to Athletic Everyday, day number 217. Got a sprinting and jumping session here for you with a few little accessories at the end. I apologize to the two people that walked in front of the camera here. I didn't realize they were standing there until I was already midway through running. So they're in the camera. Hope they don't mind. But yeah. So sprint session was a combination of distances. I wanted to do 2 by 10 meters, 2 by 15 meters, and then 2 by 20 meters, just to get a range of acceleration distances, because obviously when you accelerate for 10 meters, you're not going to be as fast at the end compared to when you accelerate 15 and then 20 meters. Now, I've heard that you don't reach your top speed in sprinting. Again, it depends on the person. Obviously, more powerful athletes will reach their top speed a lot faster versus less powerful athletes. More elastic athletes will tend to take a bit longer to reach their top speed. It's also to do with limb lengths and leverages. I, quite luckily for acceleration, have quite short legs, which means that I'll reach my top speed quite quickly. So I would say I could probably reach my top speed within 35 meters. So it would be interesting to see what the difference between my 20, 40, 60 and 100 meter times are. So today's workout, decided that I was going to do 2 10-meter sprints, 2 15-meter sprints, and then 2 20-meter sprints. The 15 and 10-meter sprints I was just doing from 2-point start. Quite like training 2-point start. It's very difficult to get the torso angle right because you can't lean onto the floor with your hand. You're just sort of falling into it. So it has to be a bit more of a dynamic start, which I quite like. But it does make it a little bit more tricky to get the angle of the torso just right. And then for the 20-meter starts, I did a slight jog into it, so that I was accelerating not from a standstill, but from a sort of dynamic start, if that makes sense. So you're sort of going from a jog. It's not a flying sprint, but you're going from a jog, and then you're just accelerating from either foot, like pushing off of your left or pushing off your right, and building up even more speed. Then I moved into 2 jumping variations. So like a vertical jump variation I decided I was going to do was a seated box jump. What I like about this movement is it's concentric only. You have to produce only concentric force. You can't preload and then use that to help you to get extra distance, or vertical displacement, one might say. Then I did some single leg broad jumps, and then because I felt like it at the end, I did some double leg broad jumps, seeing how far I could get. Again, distance-wise, I have no idea how far I got, what those increments are on there, but they felt explosive, and I can use that marker next time to see if I can improve and progressively increase the distance week on week. Then I pretty much just finished up the workout with a few accessories. Zercher reverse lunges, 2 sets of 10 with 80 kilos. Probably did 1 warm-up set with the bar, another warm-up set with 60 kilos, 1 with 70, and then 2 sets of 10 with 80. Then I tried to record more sets of my chest supported rows here with the dumbbells, but my camera cut out because I have just so many videos on my camera now from all these videos that I record. I just have to delete them so I can get some more on there. But chest supported rows, reasoning behind this was just get a little bit of extra pulling volume in. I don't really often do that much horizontal pulling, but it's quite nice to also train the back, pulling in a different range of motion versus just weighted pull-ups, which is what I do a lot of. Then I found out that they also have a reverse hyperextension at the gym, which I've never personally used before, and the pump in your lower back from this is ridiculous. Much more so than just a hyperextension, like a 45-degree hyperextension. The range of motion is slightly different, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing those. Then last thing I wanted to do was some leg extension isometrics, which you're watching here now. Again, I like to do a nice variety of knee joint angles, so deep knee flexion, sort of half like 90-degree knee flexion, and then like terminal knee extension or close to terminal knee extension flexion. And that usually makes my knees feel absolutely amazing. And then I was looking for a Bentley calf raise machine. I could have sworn I saw one in here the other day, but they didn't have one. So here's a little hack for you guys that you can use to train your soleus muscle. Just use a leg extension, put the pad on the knees, and then just elevate your toes so you've got like a good range of motion. And this works absolutely fine. And if you want to increase the range of motion, just put another plate underneath there, and then you can just gradually increase the weight as and when. So that is pretty much it for today's workout, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll be able to catch you guys in the next video.